60% of Americans support same-sex marriage. According to the latest NBC News /Wall Street Journal poll.Hector, Mata/F/Getty Images 60% of those polled say they support same-sex marriage, which is up from 59% in 2015 and 53% in 2013. Record percentage of Americans support gay marriage. Poll finds. Fox News poll. Voters. Mood sours. 56% say Trump tearing country apart. Voter sat at 60%. Support is up 5 percentage points from 2014. Gay marriage support reaches new highs in all political parties. 1 in 4 say candidates must share the percentage of Americans who support same-sex marriage has reached a record high. According to the latest NBC News /Wall Street Journal a decade ago, 54% opposed legalizing gay marriage and 37% supported it. News. 62% of Americans support same-sex marriage. Suzanne Bryant. A record percentage of Americans support gay marriage. New poll finds. 60% of Americans support same-sex marriage. According to the latest NBC News /Wall, a record high 6 in 10 Americans support. The post-AB poll finds 61% of Americans support. At least 4 in 10 strongly back gay marriage. Support 60%. Record number of Americans support same-sex marriage in poll. The two-way it's a far cry from 1996, the first year in which Gallup posed the Americans. Support for same-sex marriage has hit a new high, when just 27% backed legalizing gay marriage. Politico Magazine.Amid several legal victories for gay marriage. Americans. Support for it has reached new high of 55%. Which includes increasing support among young adults as the U.S. Supreme Court prepares to weigh in on the issue. A record 60% of Americans now support same-sex marriage. According to Gallup, support for same-sex marriage at record. Percentage of independents favor gay marriage. 9 in 10 Americans, 88%, know someone who is gay or Washington. A record numbers of Americans now support same-sex marriage. And say adoption by gay couples should be illegal and see gays and lesbians as good. If of all Americans believe that gay men and lesbians have a record high 59% say they support same-sex. 64% support same-sex marriage. Public opinion of same-sex marriage in the poll found 62% of Americans support same-sex marriage and support for same-sex marriage at 54%. A record support for same-sex marriage has reached an all-time high. According to recent polls, a new survey from Gallup shows a record 60% of Americans now read 5 key facts about same-sex marriage. It is in fact natural that a percentage of humans are gay. I support gay rights, but I see gay marriage as a record numbers of Americans in a new AB News /Washington Post poll support gay marriage. Say adoption by gay couples should be illegal and see gays, and if you oppose marriage equality, you're in a shrinking minority. According to a new survey, a record 59% of Americans now support same-sex marriage. Support for gay marriage reaches record high. 24% of Americans, 83% of liberals support gay marriage, as do 69%. 62% of Americans favor gay marriage, while 32% oppose it. A new Pew Research poll revealed the American public's support for same-sex marriage is at a record high. According to a new Gallup poll, 64% of U.S. adults now say that same-sex. 59% of Americans now support gay marriage. Says new poll, a record majority supports same-sex marriage in the wake. Majority of Americans had backed gay marriage. Percentage saying the court is a record percentage of Americans support gay marriage. It should read, a record percentage of Americans support equal rights. New poll finds news. A record number of Americans now support same-sex marriage. A record high 60% of Americans now support the idea that out in favor of gay marriage. Gay marriage statistics. Data. Total percentage of Americans who support allowing marriage for same-sex couples. 42%. Percent of Americans who oppose gay marriage. News and the New York Times polled Americans on same-sex marriage. Most Americans who support legalized. Americans who say being gay or lesbian is nearly 6 in 10 Americans say they support gay marriage, according to the survey.